Ontreon from My 600-Pound Life, Season 10, Episode 11 that premiered in 2022. He's currently 36 years old. He's in congestive heart failure, advanced diabetes. He's on 13 different medications, and he just needs to do something. Something's got to change. His mom was a single mom. He knew who his father was, but he wasn't really around. And he spent a lot of time with his grandparents and says that his grandma and him would always eat really good food, and he got basically whatever he wanted. In elementary school, he was only just a little bit overweight, but around the time that he was 12 years old, his grandfather did pass away, and that's what kind of started everything. And by the time he was 18 years old, he was 450 pounds, and he left college a few months after starting. For 7 years, he worked as a security guard, which actually his weight kind of worked to his advantage. But at some point, because of his weight and because he continued to gain, his job did let him go, and he had some very dark times after that. He said he was really struggling, but one day God just came down and said, I got you. And he found this inner peace and this whole new vibrancy for life. He started doing some odd jobs like, rideshare, Uber, Lyft kind of thing. And then through intermittent fasting, he was able to lose 200 pounds in a short period of time. So one day he's casually driving his Uber. Some woman gets in and he's like, ooh, you're pretty cute. And a month later, they get married. And shortly after that, he started to gradually put the weight back on. He and his wife really want to have children, but because of his size, he is unable to do that at this time. He's out of breath when he's walking. It is just he needs to do something to get his life back on track. One thing that he's really passionate about is becoming a pastor, so he is currently enrolled in an online school to become a pastor. So he calls up Dr. Now. He's like, hey, I hear you help people like me. Dr. Now's like, yes, I do. And so he schedules an appointment with Dr. Now. His month one, they make the 7-hour drive down to Houston, Texas. And he's thinking of all these barbecue places he wants to go. And his wife's like, no, you are here to lose weight. So they go and see the doctor and he weighs in at 702 pounds. And it's so funny because he's saying, I'm doing all this stuff right. And then his wife's like, nope, he goes and has fast food. He orders food all the time. And I just love that she's just kind of snitching him out, And Dr. Now says, I need you to lose 80 pounds in the next 2 months. Month 2, he says that he is really struggling with his cravings and everything like that. He's having a lot of protein smoothies. And his wife's like, that's not on the plan. I read the plan. That is not on there. So he's like, I think it's on the plan. I read that it was on the plan. We'll ask Dr. Now. And the diet and the exercise program is just really hot and cold every day. So he's really not being consistent. And that certainly shows off because in month 3, he is 683 pounds, which is a weight loss of 19 pounds, not the 80 he was supposed to lose. And again, he asked the wife, what's he really doing? And she says, oh, he's having a ton of peanut butter. He's having the smoothies with the protein shakes that he's not supposed to be having. It was not in the plan. And Dr. Now says, no, it's not in the plan. Dr. Now says, again, 80 pounds, 2 months, no more peanut butter, no more protein shakes. He has this friend and they are going to a park together. And the friend I love the friend. He is pushing him. He is making him walk more, making him do weights, making him do all sorts of things and really pushing him to the level of exercise that he needs to stick with the plan. Month 4, it is his graduation to become a pastor. His wife is there. His friend shows up. His athletic friend also shows up that he's been working out with. It is now month 5 and he has been celebrating a little bit too much and he has actually gained some weight. He's 689 pounds, which is a recent weight gain of 6 pounds. That is a total weight loss of 13 pounds. He says, I'm only cheating a little bit, and the doctor says, my scale is a lie detector test. You didn't cheat a little bit, you cheat a lot bit. Dr. Now gets serious. He says, this is your last chance, 80 pounds, 2 months, no cheating. So Ontreon goes to Dr. Paradise, the therapist. He opens up about his family, his past, and he says that he had an aunt that he was super close with. She was like a sister to him. She passed away, and that has been really difficult for him. So Dr. Paradise gives him a little bit of homework and says, I want you to write a sermon about grief to help you process all of this. So he goes to a little coffee shop. He's writing a sermon. He also gets a really big sugary coffee and a cinnamon roll, which is not on the plan. In month 7, he is 704 pounds, a recent weight gain of 15 pounds, a total weight gain of 2 pounds. And Dr. Now says, we have done everything for you. This is the end of the program for you. There is nothing more we can do. And Ontreon says, please don't give up on me. I promise I will do it this time. And Dr. Now says, I'd like you to keep up with the therapy. And if something changes, give me a call and you can come back on the program. Let's now cover his Where Are They Now episode. It was season 9, episode 2, and that premiered in 2024. We pick back up 3 months later. It is now month 10. He's rewriting his sermon about grief and he's really trying to process his feelings. It is now month 13 of his journey, so year 1, month 1. At some point, he sprained his ankle, and so he hasn't been sticking to the exercises, and also he hasn't been sticking to the diet. He weighs in at 702 pounds. That's a recent weight loss of 2 pounds, and he's back to his original starting weight. And Dr. Now says to him, you get the gold medal of not losing weight. I love Dr. Now and his little one-liners. And he says, what more do you want me to do for you? Like, there's no point in coming here if you're not going to lose the weight. And so he asks his wife, what's really going on? She admits that he's cheating, he's not working out. She lays it all out there. And Ontreon gets really emotional and really upset. And he says, I didn't realize I was this addicted to food. I think I finally now identified the problem. In month 2, he goes to his church and he gives his sermon on grief that he's been writing. Month 3, his exercise buddy friend Charles comes over and they are meal prepping and they are working out and everything. And Charles is showing him all about portion control, calories, nutrients, all that kind of good stuff. It is month 5. He is 639 pounds. That is a recent weight loss of 63 pounds and 63 now in total. And Dr. Now says, I'm happy that something is finally working. And if you lose 25 pounds in the next 2 months, I will approve you for weight loss surgery. We leave off in their journey. It is month 7. There is a bigger apartment that's in their complex that has opened up, so they decide to move into the bigger apartment. And Ontreon says that with this move, he just really doesn't have the time to focus on his weight loss, so that is where his journey ends. So what has he been up to since he was on the show? He is pretty active on his social media. He does post the little things here and there. For example, he recently had to have some major dental work done. He is still preaching. I did find a couple of posts where he is giving sermons. He mostly reposts a lot of stuff, and most of the stuff is things regarding to his faith, to his church, etc. He does have a couple of photos that he has posted. So his filming, because his show came out in 2024, they would have stopped probably early 2024 or sometimes kind of towards the end of 2023. So it's been well over a year since he was actually filming the show. He lost and gained and lost and gained, but when he ended the show, he was 63 pounds down from his original weight. And while he doesn't actually post what his weight now is or any kind of progress photos or anything having to do with his weight loss, with his fitness goals, anything like that, the only mention I could find is recently he was in the hospital for something, and he said that when he got out of the hospital, he had lost 13 pounds since going in. There are a few photos of him eating an apple and a banana, I guess kind of alluding to he's still working on the program. And also he posted a photo of he and his wife at an anniversary dinner. So I just hope that he continues on his journey. I hope that he and his wife are doing well. And I hope that he continues to preach at his church, do his sermons, and that he is able to just continue living a wonderful life.